What's up, y'all? My name is Justice, and this is JD with Justice, where we talk about everything on your journey to getting your JD degree. In this video, I'm going to be explaining some of the ways that you can get ready for law school the summer before your first year. Tip number one would be to just relax. Law school is going to be a very intense and sometimes hectic experience, and a lot of times during the middle of the semester, it can seem like one week just comes straight after the other and you don't have enough time to even catch your breath. So the summer before your 1L is going to be one of the last times before your winter break that you have enough time to just kind of do the things that you enjoy and that you want to do. So I would suggest doing this by kind of reconnecting with your families and friends. I know we've been in the middle of a pandemic and we probably haven't been able to have as much time with the people that we love. So I would suggest doing that while still staying safe and being able to probably or potentially partake in some of the things that you would normally do during the summer, as long as y'all staying safe, don't get sick. Tip number two, don't splurge on school supplies. This is important because you can waste a lot of money doing this. I know a lot of people probably feel like the way to be the most prepared is to buy the highest quality, most expensive products that you could ever think of. And some of the stuff that you might get, you won't even need. So I would say just keep it simple with a few essentials. And I'll tell you some of the things that personally helped me out and some of the things that I needed during my 1L. So first and foremost, a laptop. Even though I'm one to prefer to take notes on actual paper, my laptop helped a lot with just regular schoolwork and kind of keeping track of my outlines. Number two would be a backpack. You don't have to go out and splurge a whole bunch of money on a backpack. You can probably use the same one that you used in undergrad, but I personally bought a new one because it had been a couple years. I took a couple years off after undergrad, so I don't even know what I did with that backpack, but the one I bought from Amazon was only about $25. That'll be linked down below if you guys want to check that out. I also had 3 subject notebooks because I had 6 classes and I wanted a section for each class. And then I also bought a couple of folders to keep track of my case briefs. I also bought mechanical pencils and a few highlighters. You might need more highlighters than I do. I think I only use about 2 or 3, but I know some people, with the way they brief their cases, they like to do each or a different color for each section. So that's entirely up to you. Whatever you find works for you best. Tip number 3, create a work/study space. This can be important because designating a space where you can work and study will help keep you organized, kind of keep you in the mindset and help you stay productive. So one of the things that I would suggest is just to pick an area that is far away from distractions, someplace that you can have storage for your school supplies or your books or anything like that, in some space that's clean and simple and organized. What I did personally was I just used a desk that we already had in our living room. It was a pretty decent size, so I was able to have all my things laid out and still be able to work, and it was organized. So this can also be really helpful if you're learning remotely and if your school hasn't opened back up yet. So being able to have a space where you can relax and then have a completely separate space where you can work will be able to help you to be more productive. And that's one thing that I learned once the schools closed and I had to continue to do my work at home. Having 2 separate spaces was something that helped me, and something that I'll be also implementing in my 2L year. Tip number 4, create a possible study schedule. This is something that you won't be able to do until probably later on in the summer when you actually get your class schedule. But doing this will be able to help you kind of picture day to day how your day is going to look and what times you'll have to study, what times you'll have to commute, what times you'll be in class, what time you have to relax, things like that. In order to do this, I would say to write down your class schedule. Take into account, if you're commuting, take that into account and kind of block out that time, and then block out separate times to where you can study. I would also say be flexible with this because you might try it and it might not work. So don't just stick to it just because that's what you wrote down. It should be something that's flexible and something that can change day to day. What I did was I wrote down my class schedule, and then the classes that I had on Monday, I was getting ready for on Saturday. And the classes that I had on Tuesday, I was getting ready for on Sunday. So I was always at least 2 days out, and that kind of helped me stay ahead just in case something came up and I wasn't able to finish. I still had that extra day to do my work before classes started. And then on Monday, I would get ready for Monday and Wednesday. I had the same classes. So on Monday, I would get ready for my Wednesday class, and that kind of helped me after school kind of stay within the same subjects, and I think that helped me retain a lot of information. Tip number 5. If you feel like you need to read something, because I know a lot of prospective 1Ls feel like they need to be reading, even though you're going to be doing a ton of reading in law school, one book that I would suggest is 1L of a Ride by Andrew McClung. This book was suggested to me by my law school, and we had to read it prior to our 1L year, and it kind of just gives like a general overview of what your 1L is supposed to be like. It will introduce you to some terms that you're going to hear a lot. It'll kind of just let you know what you need to expect. Also, get the 3rd edition of that book. It's available on Amazon last time I checked. I don't have my copy with me because I donated it, but I will leave the link below if you guys want to check that out. Okay, and those are about all the tips that I have. The main one really would just to be relax, and sleep and have some fun, because this is going to be a great experience for you guys, but it can be intense. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. If you would like to see more, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get that JD degree.